Welcome back. We turn now to Shireen Ghorbani. Shireen, great to have you back on the show. It wasn't all that long ago that you were here under a different capacity, of course.
That's right. It's nice to be back with you.
Good to have you. Let's start with your interest in this race. So you're coming off the 2nd Congressional District. This position opens up. Why did you become interested in it?
I knew as soon as the results were finalized in the 4th Congressional District race that
Which took a while.
It took a while. That this was an incredible opportunity to go to work on the issues that I heard over and over and over again when I was out campaigning door to door across our community. So those are issues like affordable housing, really rising to the challenges that we're facing on addiction and mental health care, and really looking to someone who can start to create a shared vision about the future of Salt Lake County as we continue to see this incredible growth.
I want to dig in specifically into some of those issues a little bit later, but first, again, you're coming off the 2nd Congressional campaign. How does that help translate when you just move right into this next one?
Yeah, so I'm certainly a candidate who was out there getting in touch with the community. I spent time in every corner of that district and all over my portion of Salt Lake County, and we believe that that effort really produced results. I was able to earn 67% of the vote in my portion of Salt Lake County, and I believe that we did that by being an incredibly engaged and incredibly out there candidate, listening to the concerns of this community. But I think the thing that more so prepares me is my professional background. I'm an Associate Director of Organizational Development and Communication and Facilities Management at the University of Utah. The University of Utah is a city, and really thinking about the challenges that I work with, the issues that we face on infrastructure, on public safety, those things translate really well to the county's office.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because your run for the 2nd District was your first jump into politics. Mm-hmm. This obviously an executive level position. So how do you feel that that experience you're talking about, you know, makes the move into the county mayor?
Yeah, so my professional background is really a good fit for the decisions that are made at the county. I've been the executive director of a community theater. Arts is an incredibly important part of the role of the county. I do work in facilities management, so thinking about broad-scale sustainability efforts or the work that's happening to build new buildings and to make sure we're being incredibly responsible with our energy efficiency and energy consumption. Those kinds of experiences translate really well to the county office. There's also the experience that I have of being the board chair of the Rape Recovery Center. There we oversee a budget of $1 million. So thinking about managing big budgets and understanding all of the intricacies that come into that kind of a project is something I'm prepared for professionally.
Let's move into your vision for the county. If you were to become mayor, what is the most pressing issue facing the county right now, in your opinion?
I believe the most pressing issue that we are facing is doing the work now, making incredibly tough and incredibly important decisions now to manage the kind of growth that's on the horizon. By 2020, we're talking about adding an additional 630,000 people to this, to Salt Lake County. In order to do that, we're going to have to be having really big conversations about creating a shared vision for what it means to have the growth that's inclusive, that makes sure that every resident of Salt Lake County has the same opportunity to both benefit from and participate in the kind of growth that's on the horizon.
What is that solution? Because that's a big problem in our county right now. You know, a lot of professionals will say we need high density. But when it comes to going in your backyard, no one wants it.
Yeah.
So what is the answer there?
So for me, it's about bringing all of the cities together, all of the leaders of the townships together, and talking through what it means for us to share the responsibility of growth and creating consensus and making a shared commitment to things like affordable housing. That can't just be one city's responsibility. We have to work on it together.
Homelessness, a big issue that former Mayor Ben McAdams was involved in. What's the answer there?
Yeah.
Do you like what you've seen at the county level? Does that need to continue? Do we need to go in new directions?
Yeah, so I think whatever we're doing there are many positive things that came out of the increased effort and focus on individuals facing homelessness. I'm excited to see the new resource centers come online this summer, and I believe it's the county mayor's responsibility to really ensure that those neighbors to those centers feel heard and see a responsive organization that's really doing the work of making their communities feel safe while meeting the challenges that homeless individuals are facing. A big part of that too is continuing the commitment and the push to, instead of moving towards incarceration when individuals are experiencing homelessness, to move towards mental health care, to move towards addiction treatment, which we know are two big components of that population.
I want to get your thoughts on a very hot topic right now, and that being border security.
Yeah.
You know, we here in Utah, we might think that doesn't impact us, but we deal with the drug corridor that moves up from there. So when you take a look at what's happening at the national level and then try to break that down to the impact in Salt Lake County, what are your views there?
So the biggest portion of the county budget is on public safety and criminal justice. And so when we think about the commitment of the day-to-day work of the county, interfacing and making smart decisions around responding to the increased flow of drugs to our community is critically important. So continuing that commitment of public safety and getting the right kinds of players in place to really address the sort of big drug deals that are happening in our community is something that I'm committed to.
So when you take a look at the national debate, you know, wall, no wall,
Yeah.
what is the solution that you're talking about as far as that goes?
So as far as that goes, what I can tell you from my experience spending a lot of time across a state that is very red is that here in Utah, what I heard over and over again at the doors was that this is a community that is experiencing record low unemployment. We need people to come here. We need jobs to come here. But what we want is a legal and safe and orderly system for people to come into this country. A wall isn't a part of that. It's a bigger conversation about immigration reform.
Let's talk about your future commitment. If you were to take this over, you would have 2 years left on the remaining term. Are you committed to running for this office again in 2020 again if you are selected?
Yes, I'm committed to running for this office again in 2020, and I will not seek another office while if I have the honor of serving as the next county mayor. I will not seek another office during that term. One of the things that I did that was really important to me when we started this race was spend hours meeting with the deputy mayors, with department heads across the county, and really understanding the challenges that they face, the opportunities, really getting to hear the things that they're proud of. They need somebody who's present in that job.
And one of your opponents, Jenny Wilson, is that something that you say differentiates you between her?
You can look to the experience that she's had holding other offices and then leaving to run for others, and that is something that she has done in her past. I really looked at this as the place where I want to be. This is the job that I want to have. So I'm communicating to Central Committee members and to the community more broadly that if you go with me and I have the honor to serve, that this is where I'm going to stay.
All right, getting close. We will find out how this all unveils on Saturday. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Stay with us. Right after the break, we will hear from Arlen Bradshaw.